When it comes to daily driving a vehicle, you want it to satisfy your drive every day, or mostly every day when it comes to the ins and outs of your weekly routine. The daily driver phrase is quite common in the car community, and the phrase itself is relatively self-explanatory. So when it comes to talking about whether or not a car is a good daily driver, it makes sense that the answer is relatively subjective. So in this video, I'll be going over what it's like to live with a Tesla Model Y on a day-to-day basis, what it does and how it drives differently than a regular vehicle. From getting used to an EV after coming from an internal combustion engine vehicle to how it's like charging it. Like will you have enough range from charging overnight for your daily commute and such. And I'll be providing you with information on how it's like to live with a Tesla Model Y and the daily drivability of it. The question of range anxiety and usability comes up when you're considering purchasing a Tesla to use it to drive on a daily basis. Charging it was really one of the more important questions I had when it came to the decision of purchasing a Tesla. I found that the EPA estimated range of 326 miles to be mostly accurate after owning my Model Y for quite some time now. There are a lot of variables that come into play for the range that you'll be getting, from the type of driving you do to the type of climate you live in, and so on. Since Tesla recommends that you do not charge your cars to 100%, you may take a step back and ask if it's really worth it if you shouldn't charge to 100% for your commute. Not charging to 100% is done to preserve the battery for the long term, since fully charging an electric vehicle to 100% can put stress on the battery. Tesla's recommendation for the charging limit is at 90%. I personally set my charging limit to 80% and plug my Tesla in at the end of every day. With that being said, I have not yet had any instances where I had range anxiety in my Model Y. I have gone days where I've driven a lot without the constant worry if I'm going to run out of charge while driving. When I have to go about my commute, I do not have range anxiety since I start driving with a quote-unquote full charge because it's topped off every single day at 80%. Now, as a peace of mind as far as the battery itself goes, is that the Tesla Model Y does come with a 8-year, 120,000 mile warranty, whichever comes first, so you'll be covered in pretty much most cases if a problem does arise within this time period. Charging at home is the most practical and economical way of owning and operating any EV. You can charge a Tesla on a standard 120 volt outlet known as level 1 charging, but that's simply too slow to be practical for most people. To charge at home at a reasonable speed, I had to install a 60 amp circuit in the garage. With a high amperage circuit known as level 2 charging, the charging experience has become more seamless. And in general, the Tesla wall connector gives you the best home charging experience because it provides the most convenience and fastest charging speeds. When it comes to noises, vibrations, and ride quality, you really can't beat the opulence of an electric vehicle from a daily driving perspective. For your daily driver, you don't want to have the harsh ride and loud exhaust noise of a sports car day in and day out. Electric cars are notoriously quiet because their motors literally don't make a lot of noise like gas-powered engines and motors. Sometimes, even pedestrians can't detect an approaching EV, which is why the NHTSA mandated warning noises on these cars. When I'm driving my Model Y, the serenity is just unmatched with every other car I've driven in the past. With the Model Y being the latest iteration and primary focus of Tesla, they really stepped up their game in terms of listening to their customers and fixing these certain issues that posed a problem in the past. Most traditional internal combustion engine automakers go to great lengths to make the cars as quiet as possible. When it comes to gas-powered cars, and especially those with loud engines, part of the challenge is to mask the noise of the car itself. With no noise emitting from a Tesla, some people state that they hear the road noise or tire noise more. Over time, Tesla has been improving these slight issues through means of providing more insulation and various other methods such as double-pane glass to dampen the road, wind, and other outside noises. Electric cars are different since they're already virtually silent. There's no need to cover the sound of the powertrain. However, since the car itself makes almost no noise, outside noises can tend to be more obvious. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, please drop a like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers and I'm really close to achieving it. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all future videos. A question I get asked a lot since I daily drive my Model Y is if the white seats get dirty, and if so, how is the general upkeep for it? Of course the white seats get dirty, but they're not as nearly as prone to staining as many people believe. They don't get as dirty or nearly as dirty as you may think. From my experience, dirt or dye from clothing does not transfer easily onto the white seats. After months of regular usage, the seats still look clean. Generally, it would seem that the white seats would be more of a difficult challenge to keep clean, but in my experience, that has not been the case. Real quick, as a side note, these seats are made of polyurethane. Tesla calls it vegan leather. And compared to animal leather, artificial leather cannot absorb caring substances and therefore the care products for genuine leather are not suitable. The ways I recommend cleaning the white seats is that you would either need to use baby wet wipes or get a microfiber towel or just a paper towel with water and wipe the seats down. Some people say to use isopropyl alcohol or Mr. Clean Magic erasers, but I do not recommend these. They can be very harsh on your white seats, especially the chemicals in the Mr. Clean Magic Erasers. A thing some people do is ceramic coat their white seats. I chose not to do this since it's very easy to maintain and keep these white seats clean. If you do decide to ceramic coat them though, I've linked a few ceramic coatings I recommend in the description below. You've seen all those videos where people spill red wine on them and coke and then are easily able to wipe it off. The Model Y's cargo area is very spacious from a daily driving perspective. The Model Y has an insane 76 cubic feet of storage in the entire car. And when the rear seats are folded flat, you can really see this and it's truly amazing. From the outside of the Model Y, it may not be evident that it has much room of storage inside of it, but once you pop the trunk and fold down the seats, this is where you see the magic happen. Entertainment is just half the experience. We typically think of a car as a mode of transportation. The fun it provides is just in the moments of fun driving, right? Well, with a Tesla, there's an enormous amount of entertainment just at your fingertips. If video games are not for you, then no worries. There's also Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu. These amazing features of the Model Y, and all Teslas for that fact, is what make them excellent daily drivers. The enormous 15-inch center screen holds nearly every controller in the car. The layout is simple, and stuff is easy to find and intuitive in much the same way those first iPhones were. Even if you don't know where everything is, you're pretty likely to find it within a few seconds. With that being said, the over-the-air updates that Tesla releases for free are another part of this experience. Over-the-air updates for Teslas make improvements instantly and ongoing. It's instant, effortless, and part of the Tesla ecosystem. A Tesla is already a great car when it rolls out of the factory, but it just keeps getting better with each over-the-air update that arrives. Over-the-air software updates introduce new features and updates to your Tesla. This makes your car safer and more capable of new features over time. In fact, Tesla continues to operate at a remarkably quick pace when it comes to upgrades and releasing smaller changes frequently. These updates can make driving the car safer and improve performance, handling, and tech capabilities. Tesla has shipped these over-the-air updates for its cars for quite some time, and they've included changes from its autopilot system to the layout and to the look of the touchscreen interfaces. Another thing about daily driving my Model Y was that I didn't expect to embrace one-pedal driving so quickly. In fact, when I drive internal combustion vehicles now, I have to make myself consciously aware that the car will creep forward if I release the brakes, and it won't slow down as fast if I release the gas pedal. Additionally, using one-pedal driving on an EV extends the vehicle's brake life. Since you apply the standard hydraulic brakes less often, there's less wear and tear, resulting in significantly greater intervals between braking system service and replacement. The reduced usage of standard brakes also means less brake dust in the air, providing an environmental advantage, if you care about that aspect of it. One-pedal driving is convenient too. Moving your foot between two pedals is more work than keeping it in one place. Once you're comfortable with one-pedal driving, it's simply a more relaxed way to daily drive your vehicle. The stopping phase of one-pedal driving generally feels smoother than applying hydraulic brakes, and this is because a computer, as opposed to a human being, is performing the work to slow the vehicle down. I've gotten really addicted to fully keyless entry and driving. When I get into my old car, or sometimes even new ones, I may sometimes forget that I have to pull out my key fob to remotely open it, or even press the start button to turn on the car. In a Tesla, you don't have to think about that. Your phone acts as your key, and as a backup, I just carry the Tesla keycard in my wallet just in case. But all in all, keyless entry makes everything much easier for being able to daily drive a Tesla. Overall, my experience after daily driving and living with a Tesla Model Y for several months now has been a positive experience. I don't see myself daily driving any other vehicle other than a Tesla from now on. The things that make daily driving this car are second to none. When purchasing my Model Y, I wasn't quite sure if I'd be able to daily drive it without the constant worries that everyone else has when they're considering buying a Tesla. Now, I can say with 100% confidence that it is possible to daily drive and live with a Tesla just as you would with your traditional internal combustion engine vehicle. Comment any suggestions you have or things I may have missed. Be sure to like this video if you want and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all future videos. I'm also interested in your feedback on this video as well, since it will be helpful for any Tesla owners or soon to be Tesla owners. Your support means a lot to me.